What, Matt, you don't have your hat on? No, guys, I don't always wear my gains hat, especially when I'm just around the house doing my day-to-day. I do wear it at the poker table because that's the name of my YouTube channel, Gains Poker, and a lot of you now recognize me for wearing it. So it's an easy conversation starter. It's an easy way to talk about poker, talk about the channel, and it's good advertisement. So that's why I do it. But I want to start this video off by being real with you guys and transparent and just letting you guys know the current struggles that I have and frustration that I have with this whole YouTube blogger person experience. A little backstory that might help bring all this into focus and give you a better understanding on what I'm talking about. I posted a video a couple months back. I went on a trip to Vegas a little bit before Christmas last year, and I did like a Vegas Christmas vlog. And if you guys have seen that video, you already know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, long story short, I couldn't export my videos properly, and I actually had to film from my phone what was on my laptop, and just didn't go that well. The video quality wasn't very good, and it was just super frustrating. And the last couple months, everything has been going super smooth, no problems whatsoever. But a few days ago, the hard drive that I use was beeping. And usually in tech stuff, beeping things aren't good. And when I opened up my computer, I found this. And I was just like, what the heck? Where is my stuff? I dug a little deeper and the files were still not detected, or saying unsupported files. I did all the research imaginable, YouTube, Google, everything on possible solutions, and I couldn't find one. So I took the hard drive to a computer store to see if they can retrieve any of my data. And they looked at it for a couple minutes. They were just like, yeah, man, it's dead. I was like, wow. I mean, I've taken some bad beats before on this vlog, on this channel, and I'm sure some of you have seen it, but that one just hit a little different. It was weird. I mean, I never played a session where I was like, I quit. Like where the bad beat was just so much money, whatever, that I was like, I'm done. But this time I was like, I don't know if I want to keep on doing this. I mean, the frustration is unbelievable when it comes to tech stuff. Because again, I don't know tech stuff. I know the game of poker. I know it's going to happen, the odds, whatever. But this just hit different. And went home, slept on it, did a little bit more research, could not find one again. And well, lucky for me, I still had some of the hands on my phone. Not all of them were transferred to the hard drive, so I was able to salvage some of them. I mean, this could have been easily a 3 or 4 parter of a vlog. I could have made 3 or 4 vlogs out of this whole trip, but it's probably gonna be 2, like a 2-parter. So long story short, we are gonna keep fighting, continuing to push out content, because it's been fun the last 5-6 months that I started this. And just goes to show that there are gonna be bumps in the road, but the best thing that you can do is keep pushing forward. Never give up. I always say that life could be a lot worse, so be grateful, be thankful, and never give up. I mean, that's just the bottom line. If you guys know me, that I do not give up, I do not quit. I've been an athlete all my life, so I've had to deal with a lot of adversity. So I don't know how to give up. I just keep on going. So that's enough of me ranting. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Again, it's gonna be a 2-parter, so hopefully you enjoy this one. I don't know when the next part is gonna be posted, but I'm gonna get that out as soon as possible. But if you guys want to support me, support the channel, give the video a thumbs up, comment to boost the algorithm, because that helps. And again, I like conversation with you guys. I like talking with you guys. Even if it's good hands, bad hands. Like I've had a couple comments, not a couple, a lot of comments saying that was a bad play or why did you do that? And I'm just like, wow, that was a horrible play. I'm the biggest fish out there, but I learn from it and people can learn from my mistakes and my mishaps. So that's awesome. And it's also fun meeting you guys in person. I met a few people that watched the vlog over this last trip and it just kind of put a huge smile on my face. I was like, this is awesome. People around the country are watching me and saying they like the videos. I'm like, hey man, where are you from? They're like, oh, New York. I was like, holy crap, like I'm in New Mexico. So I'm like, that's a ways. I've never been that far northeast. Been to Florida, stuff like that, but I'm like, that's a far away, New York, you know what I mean? And it's just gonna grow from there. I mean, I want this channel just to blow up. So I need your guys' help for that. I mean, all the likes, all the comments, keep them up. You guys are awesome. But that's enough of me ranting with all my technical issues. On to the poker. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Welcome back to another one, guys. We finally made it again to our favorite city to play some poker, Las Vegas. It's our first Vegas trip of 2024. And this time we stay for 4 days. We actually play 6 sessions in total, and 2 of those sessions, we actually do more shorts content. I'm sure you already seen some of those hands being posted, and if you haven't, please go and check those ones out. But for now, we're about to go over the remaining sessions. So we have a lot of hands to go over, so let's just get started. The first session we're gonna go over in this vlog, we make our way down to the MGM and play the famous 1-2 no max buy-in game. It was a pretty packed house, but we didn't have to wait too long to get a seat, and we buy in the game for $500, covering the table. The guy who we replaced requested a table change, and he took a lot of chips with him. It took me about 15 minutes to realize why he requested the table change, because the table wasn't very good. It's usually a good indicator when a bigger stack requests a table change. The table that they were currently at is just no action. So I quickly follow suit and request a table change, and the new table that we end up at has a lot more chips on it. So we add on $300 to our stack, and maybe an orbit in, we get involved in this hand. We're in the low jack with ace queen offsuit. It folds around to me. We raise it up, we make it $10. The hijack makes the call. Everybody else gets out of the way. So heads up to a flop out of position, and it comes king 10-3 with 2 diamonds. We have 1 over, gut shot straight draw, and king high board should favor me majority of the time. So we make a C bet, throw out 15. He makes the call, so looking for some improvement on the turn, but it doesn't come, it's a 5 of spades. It doesn't change anything, and we're gonna continue our story that we have a good hand. So we throw out some more money, and we throw out 25. Too small, now looking back at it, it doesn't really accomplish anything, but that's what I do, 25. And he doesn't go anywhere for that price, he makes the call. So just really looking for an offsuit jack one time. Come on, dealer. But it does not come, and not even close. It's the 2 of diamonds. So we are sitting with ace high, and we're not blocking any diamonds or really anything. And now we have 2 options. We can check and give up and lose that showdown, or have to fold to any size bet, or we can fire that 3rd bullet. You know what? It's early in the session, but I'm not a quitter. We're gonna fire that 3rd bullet. So we stack up some chips and we throw out $80. Basically closing our eyes and hoping for the best. He takes about 10 seconds and returns his cards back to the dealer. Whew! It's a good thing he folded, because I did not want to have to show down this hand. I might have had to request another table change if I had to show the table what I had. But now I just look like a genius stacking chips, even though all you guys know the reality of it. This next hand we're gonna go over, we're in the small blind. The under the gun limps for $2. The cutoff limps, the button limps, action on me. We look down at pocket 10s. A very vulnerable hand, especially multi-way. So we're gonna bump it up, throw out 20. Only the under the gun makes the call. So heads up to a flop, and it's 7-5-2 with 2 spades. Not bad having an overpair. So we make a C bet, we throw out $20 because we do not want to see any overcards. He makes the call, so onto a turn, and it is an overcard, it's the king of spades. The flush draw comes in, and it's an overcard to our pair. So we check to him, see what he wants to do. and he checks back. So he either really liked that card and he's slow playing a flush, or he hated it just like I did. The river comes and it's an 8 of diamonds, so another card under our pair. And I guess we're gonna find out if he did like that turn card or not, because we make a bet and we throw out $20. He gathers some chips and counts them out like he's gonna raise, but he ends up folding. So it seemed like he wanted to pull the trigger, but he just was scared to. I don't know, but we'll take it. I step away from the table for a few minutes. I was saying what's up to one of the dealers, Cameron. He made my vlog about a few months ago, and I was just saying what's up to the guy. So when I come back, I buy the button in the small blind, meaning I put in the small blind and the big blind money. I wasn't really paying too much attention because I was chatting about the vlog to the table, and I noticed that there's a few limpers when action's on me, and we look down at King 10 of spades. A hand that I definitely should be raising out of position, but I just checked the option because again, I was more chatting than paying attention to this hand. So we're going 3 ways to a flop, the guy to my left and middle position, and it comes ace queen 7 with 2 hearts. I check and flow to them, and they both check behind. The turn comes, it's a 2 of spades. We all check again for a second time. The river is a jack of hearts. So we hit Broadway, but 3 hearts on board. It seems like we're gonna have to do our own betting. So we just throw out $10, hoping for anybody with a pair to call. But the guy to my left doesn't call, he actually raises. But he only raises to $22, which I thought was very strange. The middle position gets out of the way, and I don't really know what to do. Can I really put in another raise for value?
For real? I probably should raise, but your flush is good.
Shit.
Your flush is good.
No, I don't have a flush.
And you even hear me saying I should have raised, but maybe a combination of not really paying attention, talking about the vlog, the third heart coming, and his raise size just threw me off. So feel free to roast me in the comments on that one. But moving on to this hand, we have ace queen offsuit again in the low jack. It folds around to me, I raise it up and make it $10 to go. The hijack makes the call, the button makes the call, and the blinds get out of the way. So 3 ways to a flop. And it comes jack 5-5 rainbow. Out of position, I check to them, see what they want to do. And they both check back. So still 3 ways to a turn. And it comes queen of clubs. It's not rocket science. We hit one of our cards and we're gonna bet it. So we throw out 15. The hijack makes the call and the button gets out of the way. So down to heads up. The river comes, it's the 8 of hearts. I check this card, making it look like I was just trying to take a stab there on the turn and hoping he takes it as weakness and throws out a bet himself. But he doesn't, he checks back. And of course I win because anything beating me would have bet. And I'm surprised that he showed queen 9 offsuit. So I get completely owned in this hand. So we definitely miss out on some value there on the river, but I don't know how he checked back. I guess he just read my soul, but really good check back by him. This next hand, we're in the small blind. There's a few limps, the end of the gun and the end of the gun 1. Folds around to me. We look down at pocket 10s. Seems like we're only playing ace queen and pocket 10s this session, I guess. Like I mentioned the time before, it's a vulnerable hand, so we're gonna raise it up, throw out 15. Only the end of the gun makes the call, so heads up to a flop, and it comes 8-6-6 with 2 spades. A really good board for pocket 10s, but the end of the gun only has around $80 left in his stack, so not really a lot of playability. But again, having an overpair, we're gonna make a c-bet, throw out 15. He makes the call, onto a turn, it's another undercard, it's a 7 of hearts. I'm pretty much gonna go with it at this point, based on my hand and his stack size. So I commit half his stack and I throw out 35. If he folds, cool. If he happens to jam, then whatever, gonna call it off anyway. And if he just makes the call, it doesn't really matter what the river is because we're gonna get the rest of the money in. He chooses the call option. And like I said, it doesn't really matter what the river is. Even though it comes, the king of clubs, we're still gonna bet the rest of his stack. And we do, we go all in. He snap calls his remaining $38. We flip over our hand, not expecting to win, just because he called so fast. And he flips over his hand, and he had 8-9 suited. So he had 2 pair 8s and 6s, and we win with our 10s and 6s. So we take down another hand with pocket 10s, and that was the last interesting hand of this session. I know I say interesting, but that's just how poker goes sometimes. The natty or not of how a normal session is. And I just want to share the natural side of poker, and that completes day number 1 of our trip. Played a session earlier at the Aria, and then this session that we just went over. On to the following day, day number 2, and we actually hit up a new location that we haven't played on the vlog or ever before, actually. We take the tram, another thing that we've never done before, and the good thing about taking the tram, it actually drops you off right next to the poker room. Some of you probably know where we're headed, but probably not a lot of you, because I don't know if I've ever seen any poker vlogs filmed at the Mandalay Bay, but they have a poker room and we've never been here before, so we're gonna try it. I think they only have one game that runs regularly, and it's a 1-2 $300 max. So we put our name down and there's already a seat available. So we take our seat and we start with the max, $300. It's a cool little poker room area, about 7 or 8 tables. So not very big, but still a nice area. In this first hand we're gonna go over, we're short-handed and we're in the button straddle to 5. At this location, the small blind acts first and then just goes around like normal. It doesn't leapfrog like most locations here in Vegas. I kind of prefer this way better. I don't know, that's just me, but let me know what you guys think and which one you prefer. It folds around all the way to the cutoff and he raises to $10. And to his defense, I don't think he saw or knew that I had straddled on the button, but it is a min click. And I've been saying it from the beginning, I do not fold to min clicks. So it doesn't really matter what 2 cards I'm holding. And what do you know, we have one of the worst hands, 2-4 offsuit. But I am not folding in position to a min click. So I throw in the extra $5 and heads up to a flop. And it comes 6 high. Wait a minute, we have a straight. Did 2-4 offsuit just become the new premium? I don't know, but in this hand it has. The cutoff checks to me, and I'm not a fan of slow playing big hands, and I want to start building the pot, so I throw out $10, hoping that he continues with anything, really. And he does, he makes the call for 10. So on to a turn, and it's 8 of hearts. So now there's 2 flush draws on board, and when he checks to me for a second time, I gotta continue pumping money into the pot, so I throw out 25. He makes the call again, so really hoping for a black card, and it does come, it's a 9 of spades. Yes, it's what we wanted, a black card, but now any 7 makes a higher straight, and he does check to me for a 3rd time. And I think with a bet, I'm only really targeting pocket 8s or pocket 9s, because I think an overpair is just highly unlikely. And pocket 5s, pocket 3s, or pocket 6s, I can rule those hands out because they should either bet or check raise at some point. So I just frustratingly check back and he returns his cards back to the dealer. So we take it down. Yeah, we win, but flopping such a great hand like that and the board running out how it did is just frustrating. About an hour goes by into this next hand. There's under the gun straddle to 5. Folds around to the hijack and he raises to $12. I'm next to act in the cutoff and we look down at pocket aces. Definitely gonna raise this up. So we 3-bet, we make it 45 to go. The button next to act cold calls my $45 raise. The small blind gets out of the way and the big blind actually 4-bets to $120. I'm like, all right, this is working out better than expected. When the button cold called my $45 3-bet, I thought that was just gonna start a domino effect and everybody was gonna call $45 and we'd have to go super multi-way with the best hand. Cause even though it is the best starting hand, you definitely don't wanna go super multi-way to a flop. But with the big blind's 4-bet, that's definitely not gonna happen. And the under the gun quickly gets out of the way. Action back on the initial raiser, the hijack, and he actually jams his whole stack in for about $80 total. I actually look around at everybody's stack and the button has around $90 and the big blind, the 4-better, has everybody covered. So now really my main focus is the big blind stack and how do I double up through him. I have a little less than $300 total in my stack. So do I just call his $120 raise and hope for a clean flop to get the rest of the money in? Or do I 5-bet rip it and hopefully he wasn't full of it and actually has a hand? I figured he already has $120 invested, and with all the dead money out there, he should call with majority of his holdings. So I rip it all in myself. As expected, the button calls for less. After the dealer counts out my chips, he actually tanks for about a minute, but eventually calls. I flip over my cards right away because I don't like to slow roll anybody. The hijack flips over his. He has king queen offsuit. The button says he has ace jack, and the big blind doesn't show his cards, so we don't really know what we have to fade. I'm really thinking he has ace king or tens plus, so just really hoping for a low board. The flop is clean. It's 8-5-4 with 2 hearts. The turn is even better, so 3 of hearts, because we have the ace of hearts to fall back on, so I'm sure some of his set outs are dead. And the river is clean too. It's a 7 of diamonds, but you will not believe what he flips over.
Sweet.
There you go, he made it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Floppy nail, kinda.
6s, nice. Pocket freaking 6s. He 4-bets out of position and then calls a 5-bet jam for nearly $300. But I wasn't too mad about it. It's only a $300 max buy-in game. It would have hurt a lot more if it was 5-10 at the Bellagio for 2-3K. So we reach in our bag and reload for $300. Not too long after that big hand, we're in the big blind and we have pocket aces again, but it folds around and it just goes down as a chop. A little tilting, a little tease, but moving on to this hand, the same guy that stacked us with pocket 6s puts on the button straddle. The big blind limps for 5. We're in the under the gun and we look down at ace 5 suited. A playable hand, so we're gonna bump it up and make it 20 to go. And one by one, everyone besides the cutoff makes the call. The low jack, the hijack, the button straddle, and the big blind limper. So going super multi-way to a flop, and it's 9 high, 9-2-6 with 2 clubs. Not the board we were looking for at all, doesn't hit my range whatsoever. So when the big blind checks to me, I decide to check. And the action checks around, so we get a free card. The turn comes and it's a 5 of hearts. We improve to a pair, but still super multi-way. So when the big blind checks to me for a second time, I decide to check again. The guy next to act decides that's enough checking, so he puts out a bet, throws out 45. It folds around all the way back to me. And honestly, I just don't believe him. I just think he's taking a stab and trying to take it down. So I make the call for 45 and we're heads up to a river and it's a 6 of diamonds. Pairs the board, but really just a blank. It doesn't change anything. All the flush draws miss and I'm pretty sure I have the best hand. So I check to him to see what he wants to do. Looking to call off any reasonable sized bet. And he does bet. He throws out 75. Like I told you before, I just don't believe him. So I take a few seconds, flipping a chip for a call, and he flips over pocket 8s.
Yeah, I knew you were full of shit, but not like that much, no.
Nice play by him. He takes us to Value Town and gets paid. The next hour or two, we just really don't get anything going. I mean, we're getting decent hole cards, but not connecting with the board at all. Like getting pocket pairs and not hitting sets, or having Broadway cards and it comes all low cards, or having black cards and the board comes all red, or even having premiums like ace king and 3-betting and not getting any action. And any poker player knows that when that happens, you just slowly bleed out. And this hand we're about to go over, it kind of explains what I'm talking about. We're in the button straddle for 5. The guy next to act in the small blind raises to 15. The big blind gets out of the way. The under the gun makes the call for 15. There's a middle position call for 15. Action on us, and we look down at queen 8 of spades. It's a suited gapper, and I'm kind of just sick of it already. So I jam my whole stack in for $73 total.
I don't want that many people in, that's why.
I was being serious. I didn't want that many players in.
Somebody needs to repop it, so it's only 2 people.
I get what I asked for, and the small blind does repop it to $200.
Get all the bullshit out of there, you know?
Pocket 3s.
Oh, my pocket 3s are dead.
Yeah, your pocket 3s are definitely dead.
No, not my pocket 3s. You show.
Oh, you got my eights?
No, I don't have eights.
7.
Pocket sevens versus queen eight suited, a true flip, and I can't even win that. The board comes clean for him and he takes it down. We don't really feel like reloading again, so we just decide to take the L, go for a walk, and get some food. But not to panic, because there's certainly a lot more poker to be had over this trip. But you're just gonna have to wait and see until the next vlog comes out. But I can assure you that you'll wanna keep your eye out for that one. Because we perhaps play one of the funnest sessions I've ever played in my poker career. And easiest way to do that, click that sub button, hit the bell icon so you don't miss a beat. And as always, I'm Matty Ice, this is Gaines Poker, peace out.